Before disappearing, Captain Ibrahim sent one final message. If you're hearing this, Phase 4 has begun. No one has decoded it until now. Captain Ibrahim Traoré could feel it. The kind of silence that meant danger was hiding close. His convoy rolled through the valley. Headlights off, only the moon guiding them. Then, boom! A flash tore the sky apart. The road exploded behind them. "Ambush!" someone shouted, but Ibrahim didn't flinch. He had expected this. From the dust, masked men appeared, weapons raised. They thought they had trapped him. But Ibrahim smiled. He whispered into his radio, "Now." From the hills, his hidden unit returned fire with bright streaks of light. The attackers froze. They hadn't known he had scouts in the mountains. Within minutes, the field turned silent again. Only the crackle of burning tires remained. When the smoke cleared, Ibrahim walked forward and picked up one of the enemy's rifles. "French-made," he murmured, studying the mark. It wasn't supposed to be here. Someone had given these weapons to the rebels. Someone close. He turned to his second-in-command. "Find out who leaked our route," Ibrahim said. "No one outside the council knew we'd be here." The soldier hesitated. "Captain, the leak came from inside headquarters?" The words cut through the night like another explosion. Inside headquarters? Inside his circle? Ibrahim's eyes narrowed. "Then we hunt ghosts," he said. As they drove back toward the capital, his mind replayed the last few weeks. The strange messages, the sudden shortages, the uneasy looks from his advisors. Something bigger was moving behind the curtain, and this ambush was only a warning. By the time Captain Ibrahim Traoré reached the capital, the news had already spread. Rebels attack government convoy. The headlines called it a minor skirmish. But Ibrahim knew it wasn't minor. It was a message. Inside the military council room, the air felt heavy. Maps covered the table, but all eyes were on him. General Samba, the oldest officer, spoke first. "Captain, you survived because of luck." Ibrahim met his gaze. "No, sir. We survived because we prepared for betrayal." A few men shifted uneasily. He noticed it, the flicker of fear in one pair of eyes at the end of the table. Colonel Ben Coro, the man in charge of logistics. Ben looked away too quickly. Later that night, Ibrahim sat alone in his office, the lights off. Only the city's faint hum came through the window. A small folder lay on his desk. It had just arrived from his intelligence chief. Inside were photos, satellite shots of trucks carrying weapons through the desert. They bore the same mark as the rifle he found after the ambush. Each truck had government plates. "How?" he whispered. Someone inside had been selling the army's weapons to the rebels. He pressed a hidden button on his desk phone. "Bring Ben Coro to me." Minutes later, Ben entered, still in his uniform, smiling faintly. "You wanted to see me, Captain?" Ibrahim gestured to the chair. Ben sat, but his hands trembled slightly. "You served with me for 5 years," Ibrahim began softly. "I trusted you with supply routes, codes, even food rations for our soldiers." Ben nodded, saying nothing. Then Ibrahim slid one of the photos across the table. "Explain this." Ben's face turned pale. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. "I'll save you the trouble," Ibrahim continued. "You've been selling our weapons, but not to get rich, to create chaos." Finally, Ben spoke, voice cracking. "It's not what you think, Captain. I was ordered." "By whom?" Ben hesitated, then whispered, "Someone outside the country. A group called the Consortium. They said they could bring peace if we played along." Ibrahim's chair scraped against the floor as he stood. "The Consortium?" Ben nodded. "They promised money, support, international backing. They said you were standing in the way." Ibrahim turned toward the window. Beyond the city lights, he could see the dark outline of the mountains, the borderlands. That was where the shipments were going. "Who in the council works with them?" he asked. Ben swallowed hard. "You won't believe me." "Try me." Ben took a breath and said, "General Samba." Silence filled the room. The same man who had called him lucky. Ibrahim stared for a long moment, then said quietly, "Leave this office. Go home, tell no one we spoke." Ben nodded quickly and left. As soon as the door shut, Ibrahim whispered, "He won't make it home." He knew the Consortium would erase their loose ends. 2 hours later, a car exploded on the outskirts of the city. The news called it an accident. Ibrahim didn't need proof. He knew Ben had been silenced. He gathered his closest allies, 5 officers he had trained himself. He said, "We're going to the border. They think we don't know, but we'll show them we do." As they prepared, his intelligence chief handed him a small black envelope. "Captain, this was intercepted from the Consortium's private channel." Inside was a single note. It read, "Phase 2 begins. The lion must be tamed before dawn." The lion. That was the nickname the soldiers gave him. Whoever wrote this knew everything. Ibrahim felt a chill. This wasn't just corruption. This was a network buried deep. Spies, money, and power stretching far beyond Kambara's borders. He loaded his weapon and whispered to himself, "If they want the lion, they'll find out I hunt too."
Captain Ibrahim Traoré and his small team drove through the night toward the border. They carried no banners, no convoy lights, only silence. The moon slid behind clouds, and the road turned to dust. "Sir," one of the soldiers said, "if the Consortium controls the council, we might be walking into a trap." Ibrahim nodded. "That's why we walk in first." They reached an abandoned airstrip at dawn. Old hangars, rusted fuel drums, a tower half collapsed, but tire tracks were fresh. Through binoculars, Ibrahim saw containers lined up beside a plane. Men in gray uniforms loaded crates stamped with the Kambara army's own seal. "They're stealing our future," one soldier whispered. Ibrahim raised his hand. "Not yet," he said. "Let them think we're blind." He pulled out a small device, an encrypted recorder. He needed proof before striking. If the world heard what he was about to uncover, the consortium's mask would fall. As he moved closer, a familiar voice echoed from the hangar. It was General Samba. "In the general commands nothing," Samba was saying. "Our friends in the north will handle him soon." Ibrahim froze. His oldest mentor, the man who taught him to read a compass. He stepped from the shadows. "Handle me now, General." Samba turned slowly. For a second, sorrow flickered in his eyes. Then came a thin smile. "You shouldn't have come alone, Ibrahim." Dozens of gray uniformed men appeared, weapons raised. The trap had been waiting. Ibrahim whispered into his radio. "Now." From behind the dunes, his 5 loyal soldiers burst out with roaring engines and blinding lights. Smoke grenades filled the air. Bullets cracked against metal. In the chaos, Ibrahim tackled Samba to the ground, grabbing the recorder that hung from his belt. A plane engine screamed to life. It was trying to take off. He ran toward it, fire licking the edges of the runway. With one shot, he hit the fuel line. Flames swallowed the craft before it could rise. Samba coughed, half buried in sand. "You think you've won? The consortium isn't one man. It's an idea." Ibrahim knelt beside him. "Then I'll fight the idea." But Samba only smiled weakly. "You have already," he said. "And they're inside your own camp." Before Ibrahim could ask what he meant, Samba's eyes dimmed. The truth died with him, at least for now. Later, as the sun set, Ibrahim and his men searched the hangar. Inside a metal box, they found maps, coded drives, and stacks of foreign currency. Enough evidence to shake the capital, if they could get back alive. But then the radio crackled. A voice came through, calm and steady. "This is the High Council," it said. "Captain Traoré, you are ordered to return immediately and surrender your command. You are accused of treason." The soldiers froze. Ibrahim stared at the radio. Treason! They had turned the accusation on him. The consortium had moved faster than he thought. "Sir, what do we do?" one soldier asked. Ibrahim looked toward the burning plane, then back at the horizon. "We go home," he said, "but not to surrender." As the trucks rolled away, a tiny red light blinked inside the recorder he carried. He didn't notice it. Far across the desert, someone else was watching the same signal on a glowing map. A woman's voice spoke quietly into a headset. "The lion took the bait. Phase 3 can begin."